Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight we are back in the Vermont. Now I know what y'all thinking. Spartan, really? Another Vermont game? Hey, I warned y'all. That I was going to be playing the Vermont like crazy once it come out. Here we are. So, it's not my fault. But, I got some interesting gameplay for you guys. This is going to showcase a little bit of what the Vermont is capable of if you refuse to get rid of it. Now, we're going to be pretty aggressive in this particular fight. Because as you're about to witness, there really isn't anybody that's willing to go toe-to-toe with us. Because it doesn't end well. Now, Vermont, in and of itself, isn't anything special. I've said this many times. It's not anything special, okay? If you're going into this ship thinking it's going to be the greatest ship on the planet, you're probably going to be very disappointed. Now, that being said, there is something to say about being able to lob 12 guns downrange. Now, obviously, we're not built into accuracy here, but first shot out the gate, 21k. Now, is that anything outstanding? Not really. Montana can do the exact same thing to us if he gets a good salvo, alright? There's nothing that this thing can do, and I've said this many times, there's nothing that this thing can do that the Montana and Ohio can't do better. It just isn't. This thing is slower than the Montana and Ohio, it's not as tanky as the Montana and Ohio, and it is just about as accurate as the Montana and Ohio. The biggest downside of this thing, compared to the Montana and Ohio, is it just doesn't have the punchiest guns in the world. They are fully capable of hurting you, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that these guns are shooting spitballs down there, but it's inconsistent. There are times where I pull the trigger and I look at it and I'm like, probably not going to do a whole lot. And it surprises me. And then there are times where I pull the trigger and I'm like, this thing is going to remove this guy as we take a citadel from a Schlieffen. And when I pull the trigger and I say, man, that guy's dead, right? It's guaranteed to do almost nothing. It's really inconsistent in that regard. I don't know why. I can't place my finger on it. We've tried all sorts of things. I know a lot of people have been asking about my different builds that I've used for it. And at the end of the day, there's nothing too crazy going on. I've done a range build, I've done a speed build, I've done the accuracy build, I've done the damage build with New Jersey, and I've done the obvious Azure Lane Colorado, which is what I actually prefer. Out of everything that I've tried on this ship, Azure Lane Colorado seems to be the most consistent. Namely because even in a game where you're not going to have as much time, where the games are ending relatively quickly, having that reload allows you a chance to have something. Because there's going to be a lot of times, if you're not running a reload build, there's going to be a lot of times where you just simply do not get enough shots downrange to really be truly effective. Now here, we're going to take a hit from this Montana, but I'm trying to save my teammate. My teammate in a destroyer is going up against this Worcester, and yeah, there you go. 3 overpins and everything else falls into the water at 8 kilometers. I'm not going to lie, that irritated me a little bit. But I think what it was is we actually had some shells pass through the island, and so it made the shells void or null, whatever you want to call it. And this Worcester is about to demonstrate why bow tanking a Vermont isn't going to work out so well. Because if the Vermont aims high, I'm just going to neuter you. Like, you may have 32 millimeters of bow plating, but I know that, sunshine. So either you decide to go broadside to get more firepower on me, or I am going to send you packing in a couple of salvos. Now, I am paying attention to the Yamato, but notice I don't shoot the broadside Yamato. Why is that? Well, Spartan, you're being shot by a Worcester, which is high DPM. You want to get rid of him. True, but not the reason. The reason I don't shoot the Yamato in that situation, as we completely decimate this Worcester for showing any angle to us that isn't just full-on bow in. The reason I don't shoot that Yamato is simple. I don't want him shooting back at me, right? We're in a compromised position where we are bow tanking multiple enemy ships. We've got all kinds of stuff going on here. And the last thing I want is a Yamato chiming in while I'm trying to angle against all the people that I'm fighting. That's when we notice that the Yamato shoots us anyway. Though, notice as soon as I see that, I go ahead and start shooting back. Fortunately, he didn't lead the target, which was me. I will never be disappointed when the enemy screws up. Just saying. I will never be disappointed when the enemy makes a mistake. And so we go back. We're trying to do what the Vermont is very good at, which is bow tanking a couple of people and keeping the rear guns in a position where we can continue to score damage on the other people. Now, obviously, we're in a losing situation here. There are very few ships in this game that can go toe-to-toe with this many ships and survive. Vermont is not one of them under normal circumstances. Alright, Vermont does not do well in these situations because it is so big and so slow, and its armor is very flat. And this Yama is showcasing a perfect example of why these guns are made out of wet paper towels. Fortunately, Yama is so focused on us, he doesn't pay attention to who's got his broadside. He pulls out in front of my teammates, and now, not only does he lose all of his hit points from the initial shot, but he then gets torpedoed into oblivion. This is why we call it creating crossfires. You don't always benefit from the creating of crossfires in the sense of getting the damage. Now, we get the front gun off at the Burgon. That was amazing accuracy, but somehow only managed to get 2 hits. I don't understand it. Sometimes the game just makes you weird. Like, those shells were all touching. That should have been a little bit better, but somehow we only got 2 hits. Now, obviously, we've been dealing with broken guns, so we probably only got the 1 gun down range, and so that would have been 3 shells. 2 out of 3. Not bad. But notice, I go ahead, I take one last shot at the main, going behind the island. I apologize for my yawn. But we are then going to position ourselves to fight the Burgonian. We actually crack the main, going behind the island, which is beautiful. And then we are going to fight this Burgon. But notice that I don't just go around the corner willy-nilly. I know that this guy has French magic bullets. He may only have 15-inch guns, but if I go around the corner broadside, that man's going to send me back to port. Alright? I already know. It is known, right? Like, we know what the Burgon is capable of, and we don't want to take that chance. So we're already angling away. We've got our guns in the perfect position to counter him. We take the shot. Down he goes. He doesn't even get a shot on us. That is the difference between a good player and a player that isn't as good. It isn't necessarily that I do anything crazy different. It's the planning ahead, being ready for what's coming, and having your guns ready to go as soon as you get the shot. That is the difference between taking a hit there and not taking a hit at all. And even if we had taken a hit, we were angled, so if he shot at the belt, there's a good chance he didn't do any damage anyway, or very little compared to what he was capable of. Now, I'm not going to lie here. I'm a little salty that we can't lob this island right now. Not going to lie. A little salty. But we come back around the corner, and just about the time that we get the shot, he goes dark. Go figure. And that's when I see the shells coming in, and I'm like, great. They just took all his health, didn't they? And I knew it. I already knew it. I was like, they already took it. Yep, there it is. No health. I'm like, great. Fantastic. But we take the shot, and that should be the end of the main. Bonk. Oh, no. Really? We didn't quite lead him enough, so we didn't get enough penetrations to finish him off. So in true Spartan fashion, we got to leave him with just enough for somebody else to take the kill. Right? Wait, am I going to get loaded again? Come on. Aim the shot. Don't screw it up. Nope. He's dead. Dag-nagget. You got to love it. Anyway, let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. Did you get to see anything new out of this ship during this video? Did you see a little bit of what it's capable of if people are a little bit complacent? Like, being able to bow tank and shoot the rear guns and position yourself. Positioning in this ship is everything. If you don't properly position this ship, you are going to be miserable. I promise you. So, just trying to let you guys know. This is why I'm trying to, like, help you guys. Like, a lot of people are going to spend 30 million silver to pick this ship up in the store, and then they're going to spend 6 weeks researching it, maybe spend some gold to speed up the research, And then they are going to be sorely disappointed when they get their hands on it. And they'll be like, I thought this was a great ship. Don't say I didn't warn you. All right? It's a fine ship, but it's nothing special. There is absolutely nothing that this ship can do that the Ohio or the Montana can't do better. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. And if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button. Leave a comment below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And as always, I will see you in the next video.